I decided to make a wish list video right before they're coming out with their plans for this game for the rest of the, I guess for 2020 or their 2020 goals, or it's going to consist of a 3-year span of their goals, like I mentioned before. But I'm not sure what the video is going to contain and if they're going to be doing anything differently for this game this year. But I decided to just do something, my own personal wish list for the game, of what I would like to see them do. Things that I'm sure not everything is going to be in this list, but it's my own list and just I thought of for today. Before whenever they bring out their video, they're going to post for Nebula, and it's probably going to be everything they're planning to do for the game and the new changes that's coming soon. But if they could commit to those goals, that's something I would want to start with. I hope they really commit to some of these goals, because some of these things, the goals that they say that they wanted to really focus on, they never did. And then some of the things that they took out of the game that they were supposed to fix, like the pinball machines, for example, never made a return. And it's like they just forgot about them. And the new female walk and run mechanics that they never got, that you ladies never got out there that play this game, you guys never got that either, like the males do, like we move right now. The running and the walk mechanics right there in the air, just to showcase it. Those are just some of the things that's missing in the game. So it's just like, it's as if the devs didn't, they just scrapped it and they just left it and didn't really care about trying to add that kind of stuff. But I'm going to show you guys my list. I'm going to list it in the description, and you guys are welcome to post your list for this video for today of what you guys would like to see for the game. And most people are going to probably request the PC release, the graphics and all that kind of stuff that people have been waiting for over a year now. And I'm just going to show you guys who's in here. There's not that many people here. I'm just at the open house. Well, I'm just going to walk around, try to travel between spaces. If I can make it, I'm just going to be extra careful wherever I decide to go. But you load the fastest in the open house. The open house is here. So this is like the latest update that they did. So I thought I'd start here for the Tokyo apartment open house. That's actually an open house. He's rocking his Valentine's suit right here. So I'm sure this is probably going to make a return sooner or later, since February is getting closer. Going to bring out the Valentine's content, some of the same things, and it's probably going to be upgraded suits. But just to start, the space I'm in is a personal space that's for sale in the shop, and now that we got a chance to really see what the open house is like, you could decide for yourself if you want to buy this space and if it's good enough for you. But spaces like this, I don't think we need to really focus on this year. It shouldn't. I wouldn't really put a personal space or any sort of personal spaces in my wish list. I want public spaces. That's what I'm starting with right now, because it's not that many public spaces. There's so many personal spaces. They can slow down and take a break on these personal spaces. This should be the last one for a while, I think. I don't know about anybody else. If you like to decorate, that's fine. But just like when you come out with these, it should be some kind of exclusive activities. And if they have exclusive activities and rewards that you can get, like the Crystal Lake the personal space that we have, that consists of multiple rewards, it makes the purchase worth it. Instead of just having a house to decorate in and put just its exclusive furniture in and be done with it, and then move on and wait for the next one to come out and do the same thing for that. There's nothing really to do when you come in these spaces. So it's just a highly lack of public spaces that's been in this game to talk about it today. We got the Nexus, and just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. But this is not even really all that big. This shouldn't even be in the game. I don't know why they decided to keep it now. The minigame's not even there. The Nebula open house, this is the Nebula yacht. That's a personal space that only limits you to 1 floor. But then if you want to count the cinema, that's just part of the Nexus. I don't know if you guys would count it there. And then we used to have the Super Kickers League space. That was also in the Nexus, right next to that cinema or movie theater, wherever you want to call it, that's in existence. We did have the Medieval Village, but that's gone now. Those different spaces in the Super Kickers League that they came out with from last year, those were removed. They're no longer in the game that you can get access to anymore. So I think we just need more public spaces. There's too many people going to the Nexus. Everything that they came out with thus far that I noticed from this game, every player is in the Nexus. They're back where they are. They're back where they started. They just keep coming here to the Nexus over and over, and then you're not going to really find that many people that's active in all these other spaces. These spaces are very empty. They're dead spaces, and now that everyone's gotten to see the open house, they don't have to come here to hang out anymore. So they can go right back to the Nexus, see what it's like, or maybe go to a different space if they're on. The most crowded spaces right now is just the Nexus, I would say the bowling alley, and maybe sometimes here and there it can be the dome or the beach. And then outside of those spaces, I don't see many players in them. In the other spaces that I encountered, there's very little spaces of the newer recent spaces that they came out with. And those are the hangout spots. No one goes to Ghost Town that I noticed. Those are just the main hangout spots. The rework for the Lee Park is just empty. It's hardly anybody there. So that's the first thing I want them to really focus on for my little wish list. And I got plenty more to really get into here. But the public spaces need to be focused. We need more places to go to. I spend 98% of the time here in the public space. I'm not chilling, standing in a personal space and just being there all day long. Unless I'm at an event or if I get invited to an event, or just if I'm doing like a tour, or just checking out the space for the first time and see what it's like this one, for example. Other than that, I'm up out of here after that. Outside that 2%, I'm already back. I'm spending most of my time at a public space now, because this is just not the place that you want to just hang out at. Yeah, you can have a couple people over and just invite people to hang out and talk about anything, or maybe they want to see the space. But other than that, you're not going to really want to be in a personal space all the time. But now, outside of the public spaces, not just the lack of public spaces, but we have very little mini games now. Something I want to see more of this year is mini games. Not just any mini game that you can just play and then just be done with it. That just only limits yourself. That's only limited to one player. Let's get some multiplayer games like that we have at the bowling alley. That bowling is one of the best, funnest games that you can play. It goes up to 4 players. And it's still even though the bowling alley is not that it's not a new public space. Everyone goes there to bowl and play against their friends. If you got like up to 3 players or 4 players, it's a lot of fun, and you can just keep playing it over and over. But we need more mini games like that, and then some other mini games that's around that level of players, a multiplayer. The go-kart racing, you can race against each other, but that hasn't worked for a while. So I stopped playing it a little bit because I had some issues and we couldn't even get people together. And every time I try to host the game, they wouldn't be able to find me, or it would just get them trapped into the game when it's just infinite loading. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm hoping that they can just bring mini games like those that are just really fun and you can just constantly play and have fun like that. We need so much more activities to get into. We have some of the same mini games for a while now. We don't play them. Some of them are unplayable now, because you just don't want to play them anymore at that point. Jungle Mini Golf that you already played. Who plays Chrome Racer anymore at the Nexus? That's my question. Who plays Chrome Racer at the Nexus anymore? Who's playing chess and checkers at Stone Lake Castle? Those are one-on-one games and single-player games, but hardly anybody goes here to the castle. There's just very little mini games. They can bring some volleyball. They can bring out some mini games for like volleyball at the beach, maybe being able to surf. They can just open it up the sea a little bit, or the ocean, so we can surf and just have some jet ski racing and stuff like that, and you could compete with one another. They can do something like that, and I can bring up to maybe 3 players or 4 players. That's just some other activities they can probably bring out for minigame ideas. It's so much they can possibly do. The options are infinite, and it's just so much they can really get into to keep people active. I would come on here and play these games. So those are just some of the mini games I like to see, but don't come out with just a mini game. Just play it one time, get a reward, and then once you get all the rewards, you'll never go back to playing it, because that's what happens to games like Super Kickers League. You kick the ball into the goal 3 times and get all the rewards. You just don't need to come back and play it anymore. You should be good afterwards. It's just unnecessary at that point. So It's just so many things that they can be doing. Because you see how people just come on here, they just coming out here to check out the view. It's just so many things they can just bring out places like this for the city to make it better. We can really just be able to explore and check out the towns. But this is so big of a space. Look at just at the bottom. This needs to be so much better. It could be so much better than what it is. We can be able to explore and really get out there. It doesn't have to be a huge city like this. A Zero District is almost something like this, but you can't even go inside some of the buildings. That'll be something that you can get access to for our avatars. But just leading into the avatars and just going to my next wish list. We need more lively avatars. We don't blink. We're not blinking. We're not blinking. We're not eating. See how she exit? That's all you do. They just leave real quick. But just we need more light jar avatars. They're not blinking at all. Now here, I'll stand here for a few seconds. Take a look at this. Bow, hey. But just you can see he's walking. That's the new mechanics I already showed you guys, the new motion mechanics. He's not gonna blink a single second throughout this video. No one blinks at all. We could just have more lively avatars to really give it a chance. Just to really have some better movement. We can eat. We can drink. We can eat the popcorn a little bit better than we already do. Instead of just throwing it to our lips that's closed. We can drink those we can have those little soft drinks and the hot dogs that we have in our inventory. They're just in our inventory for our left and right hands. They're just hand inventories. That's it. You can't eat them or do anything with them. They can really just give the avatar a chance to just have some more life to them, because they're just so stiff. They move around so plain. It could be so much better than what it is right now, because they don't even feel like avatars. It doesn't make, if you're trying to make your avatar you, or maybe something what you look like, or something similar to it, or whatever you have, a goblin, or whatever you want to be in this game, you can have more life to it and make it look like you and have it just feel like an avatar. These avatars are not avatars. They're just like robots. They're just zombified. They're zombies. They're lifeless zombies. That's what they are. Because they just don't seem to be like realistic. Especially for this generation, they need to be blinking. Take some notes from the Sims or something like that. That can be something they can really do. You see how much life the Sims got when you go and play. If you guys play Sims or you've seen it before, you see how much life those characters have. They blink. They have like voices and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that'll be something really cool to see. But I don't think that'll ever be added. It's just voices for our avatars. But at least give them some liveliness, so they can move around, blink and eat and drink and all that stuff. That'll be something I like to see. The music. Of course, you can't hear it now. All the music has been the same for so long. The music has been the same since the game became public to the world and really placed back on the PlayStation Store. The music has been the same. I'm going to just go to a different space now. All these spaces have the same music. They have the same songs. Except for, I would say the Ghost Town and the only two spaces outside of that before I even get to it. The Cube has different songs compared to the Dome. The Dome has the same songs identical to where you would go to the common public space like the Nexus and the bowling alley. And then the only place with just a different music with other soundtracks is the Cube and Zero District. Those are the two spaces that have different soundtracks that you're not going to hear at the other public spaces. Everything else has the same music. So I would like to see some new tracks. Maybe they have some new songs that we can play and listen to while we're playing the game. Because all the songs get old. You just don't. You didn't even want to play the music. And everybody, I say it. Some people that hang out on here, they have they play their Spotify playlist, or they'll play something that they have, music from their background, or go on the YouTube app and play something for their phone or whatever. They're listening to their own music and their own playlists all loaded up instead of listening to these songs, because the songs are just the same. So I would like to see some more music added into some of these spaces. Let's get on to a new space. I don't even know where I want to go. I'm just going to go where I think is safe and then be less players. So let's go to Stone Lake Castle. And as we load up, Speaking of outside of new music within these spaces, let's get some new dances and poses. When was the last time we had a new dance? New dances and poses. The new poses were from Valentine's. Valentine's, the ones I can really think of, the love poses. I'm gonna get ready to do them when I load in here, if I can. And if I don't, I'll just keep on talking. There you go. But I'm gonna show you guys the new poses. We haven't had a new pose, a new dance in so long. I'll do them right here at the entrance. We had these, and the new dances were these saloon dances, the mega hop, and all that. It's been so long since we had some new dances and all that kind of stuff. The new poses. The most recent poses was, yeah, see, these are for Valentine's. Remember when they came out with that Valentine's minigame at the medieval village when it still existed? We had all this stuff. See how you move? Watch. The force pushed them back. But see, we had these same poses and all the same things for a while now. It's like they're not even thinking about these. They're just going to keep these the same. Whoa. They're going to keep these the same? We're about due for some new dance moves. I know you guys have different, the males and females have different dance moves, but some of them are identical, like the medieval and all that kind of stuff. Who's in here? Eternal Poison. That's it. It's only one person. But see what I'm saying? Yeah, you got the ice ring. This is just not a mini game. This is just something that you can do here. You can't do this anywhere else. Snowballs here. See what I mean with the stiffness? Let's bring out some snowballs really quickly. And as we talk about the dances, I just hope they bring out some new dances and poses. We're overdue for them. It's time for it's just about time. See, watch the stiffness. It's not like he's not even throwing the snowball. It seems like he's not even really in it. Yeah, he's there, but he's not really into it. It's just stiff. You just ball up a snowball. It's so plain. See? Here, y'all can have some snowballs watching this. See, we just ready for more stuff. Let's get some movement. Because our whatever you want to call them, our zombies are just like dead. So that's something else I'd like to see. Let's get to the next one. I got a lot to say about this because this is the points. I already talked about the mini games. You only could play mini games twice a day, or 3 times a day, to get points. But you could keep playing over and over, but you'll never earn after you get the 3 points. So watch this. This is how I really get points really quickly, because you can get, this is so fast. It's another way to get them too. See, it's plus 20, just for example. You're going to get that 2 more times. You'll be able to get that a few more times. And then after that, you can't get any more points. You only can play 3 mini games a day. And then it'll just go back to a cooldown. I'm just going to play it one more time. But don't you want more of this? You want more. You want more points. So say if you didn't want to buy something, you were really trying to grind for points and be active on the game. You can't get active. Let's open the shop right quick. You can't get active. And let's set a goal. A random goal for something that you were trying to shoot for. You're trying to shoot for something that you want to get. You see something appealing off the shop that you want to get with Nebula points. You can't, it'll take you a while to get there. You won't get there in time. You have to play this every day to try to get, maybe let's throw it out there. The personal spaces are really expensive. Dead quarters is free. But you can, if you wanted to get, let's throw this out, one of these, the Tokyo apartment. Let's just use this for the example because it's the most recent new personal space from our update from last week. See, now you're not thinking about the crystals. You're not thinking about the crystals. Don't think about the Nebula crystals because you got to buy those. You can't buy points in this game either. That's not a feature that doesn't exist. You were trying to aim for the Tokyo apartment. You really like it. You think it's something where it's a place that you want to be, and with the visual appeal. It's just an example. It's something that you're trying to aim for. You see where I'm at right now? I'm at 446 Nebula points, top of the screen right here. You're trying to get to that personal space. You want to try to come up with 9,000. Will I get to 9,000 within the next month? If I play throughout all February, starting February 1st, and play every single month, every single day, will I get to 9,000? I don't think so. It's going to take you so long to even try to get a personal space. And let alone that, I can go for an even higher, even more pricey personal space. I think this was a little bit higher. Yep, it is. See, like the Serene Garden, for example. Let's open this one up. This is from last year. If you were to try to come up with 10K, you would try to. I would never get there. I probably wouldn't get there until maybe later on in the year. If I'm not, I don't even think I would get even halfway there because it takes so long just to get the points for this. I would like to see the increased points with no cooldown, and you can grind the game to your heart's content to open and play these mini games that actually give you points to get what you want to get off the shop. You wouldn't even. It takes long. It'll take a while just to get a shirt. Yeah, I would be able to get a shirt, but at most, let's see some season lords. So I want it to be a Winter King or something like that. 2,700. I'll get there sometime in February. Yeah, I'll get there. I'll have enough. But then once I spend the 2,700, it's gonna take you longer, or maybe the same amount of time, depending on your schedule, to get that same outfit or get something similar of a shirt or something, some kind of a pair of pants. Let's open this. You see what I'm talking about? Watch this. The pants are like 1,300 points. 1,350 points for a pair of pants. You should be turned down a little bit. Or at least give us some kind of chance to get there. Look, 1,350 points just for a shirt. And then sometimes if you want to get a different outfit, it goes up to 2,700 points. And maybe some of the pets. You want a new companion? Maybe you want to shoot for your first companion? Go up to the Juggernaut pets. I was about to say Juggernaut pants. the pets are 2,700 points. You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna take you longer to even try to shoot for certain things that you want to get off the shop. It takes so long. So I think that really needs to be changed. Take off the cooldown so we could grind the game. You're not necessarily grinding unless you're constantly playing the game. But you can't grind for points here like she's probably trying to do right now. You're only going to be able to play for up to three times, and then after that, you got to wait 19 hours. You got to wait until tomorrow. So you play 3 times, and then, yeah, I know you can get some additional points from the gears at Steampunk, but I can't even get there in one piece, let alone stay there, because it blue screens all the time. So you can get a couple points, additional points there, but what is that going to do for you? Is that going to increase your odds? Not necessarily, because it still has a cooldown. So I'm hoping that they really, I would like to see that happen. An increase in Nebula points and remove the cooldown period so we can keep playing these games to our heart's content. Keep on playing and keep earning that way. And then I'm going to say this out and say this when I'm not speaking of the points. We hardly ever even get double Nebula points. It's so rare that they even announce double Nebula points. That'll be really cool. Maybe they can turn that up a little bit more. If y'all not going to remove the cooldown, make the double Nebula points last for quite some time, for like a month or something like that, so people can probably get some new things that they want to get, that want to grind for points. But if they did that, I would probably play this game a little bit more, but I'm not. Because I'm on so many other games, so I don't really come on here now. There's just no point at that time. So my next thing I'm going to move on to now, outside of the points, is the upgraded servers. You see how it's just, it's only me and her that's in here. Me and Eternal Poison. That's it. But let's turn up I think the server capacity max is about, what, 20 people to 22? I think 20, a little bit over 20, I think. Max in the space. I want to go to the Nexus to really take a look. To see how many people is there. Should I risk it? I'm risking it. But I just because this is going to be the most packed spot, so I can really just count to see how many people is in the space. But I think it maxes out to up to 20 players, a little bit over 20 players per space. I would like to see an upgraded capacity so they can hold more players. So if you hold like an event, you can invite as many people, a little bit more than that to come into the space, to hang out and join the event and participate, chat it up, and all that kind of stuff. And then not only don't just turn up the capacity, make sure it's stable. That's why I'm not gonna stay in the Nexus too long. I'm gonna exit real quick. Let's get over here because I don't want to get away from getting near all the loading players. So let's take a look. Open the list. It's not that many people here. It looks like she made her way here. We had the same idea, but it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then plus it's 9 people total in this. But it's gonna pack up. It's gonna fill up as more people load in through the game throughout the day. See, as they come in, there's gonna be more players in this. But this it needs to be stabilized because I can't stay in the space too long without getting like a blue screen. I'm hoping that they stabilize these. Whoa, I don't even want to go near that. I hope they really stabilize these. Like when they first came out with the cinema, it was so laggy, and now people don't really go there anymore. They don't go to the cinema. It is all this hype for the movie theater. They don't go there as much now because the servers are not stable, and that's why I'm so afraid to go to Steampunk now because I don't have the luck to go there because it's just blue screen mania. I just hope they really upgrade these, and then outside of upgrading the capacity and making the servers a little bit more stable, where it's less lag and you can make it. Even if it lags, I'm cool with that for just a little bit, but just make sure we can make it to our space and get to where we want to go and be able to stay in the space without having these blue screens and these crashing issues. And Communication is huge. Needs to be turned up. Let's get some more better communication so we can announce these delays ahead of time instead of just waiting for the day of or that particular Friday or that particular weekend to announce the delays, when the delays could be announced during the beginning of the week instead of having players just wait thinking it might be an update when it's not really anything that's going to be coming out. So even if it's not an update, it'll be great to have the developers communicate more with us and answer questions instead of just being so silent and quiet where we can't really get a word out of them. And then we got to run to other people to find out if there's something new or anything like that. Somebody that I know is on the game. But just like I always say, I don't want to just be stuck in a conversation, losing my train of thought. But it's players that are coming on here that's connecting now, so just like I suspected, that comes to the Nexus because it's the best place to be, and everyone goes here. But I'm just hoping that they come out with these, make more posts when not just announcing delays, but maybe if they have more updates, maybe some things that's coming soon for the game, maybe progress reports. That's what I would like to see. That's going to consist of in these better communication skills with with these developers on their Facebook and Twitter, wherever they choose to post at. Facebook gets all the posts anyway, so I just follow that. But maybe some progress reports with some of these updates if they need to be changed, or maybe they're deciding to do something different, or they're putting something on hold. Don't say they're focused on something in particular, like the graphics and PC update that they said from the beginning of 2019, they said they was going to be focused on that in that particular month of January. That's their main focus. Only to find out all these personal spaces kept coming out one after the other, and all these different things of the clothes and all these shots that they were bringing out. It just didn't come off as if that was their focus. It seemed like they said it and they didn't commit to it, and then they just ended up committing all their time into that game over there that's on the TV screen that made them lose even more time, which they didn't really have to come out with yet because this game was already in so much trouble and not running well. So I'm hoping that they can really just do better with communication. So we'll have to see what they bring out for their next post. Not these little posts and not have any sort of idea of what to expect next. What's coming up next? Don't leave us in the dark for too long. Just keep on guessing and then just expect us to just be patient for this whole time. And especially things are not getting better for the game and it's just getting boring. So wrapping up, I'm getting close to my end of my wish list. Game chat. I don't know about anybody how you guys feel about game chat. Maybe PlayStation don't have game chat. They don't necessarily need it, but maybe you don't want to have to keep on opening party chats and inviting people to talk to them there. You can just talk to them in game chat in your personal space how you want to. It just depends. But I'd rather just see that. That's just something I think would be cool in the game. So even if we don't have live avatars, at least we'll be able to talk to each other in game chat that way. And maybe some people don't want to be in party chat, so it's different. And I already mentioned public spaces, but this is a space that I really love from home. It was the video game arcade. It was combined with the bowling alley. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna try to make it there. The bowling alley had a video game arcade, and that was always there. I would really love to see that come to fruition. I don't know if they're gonna ever do it. I did hear about a carnival space that a certain developer is trying to get together. That they're gonna probably bring out. Well, I'm cool with that because that was another space I was at. I was hanging out at the carnival playing all those mini games because it was so much that you can get into, all the activity. I was just loving the atmosphere there. I love the carnival space and the video game arcade. So that would be something I would like to see. This is a personal space that I would like to see added into the game, if anything. The graphics, we already talked about that. I just threw that in there because that's already on their list. But see how this was supposed to. This was where the pinball machines were at. These were where they were located, but they're not here anymore. So maybe they could put some little arcade machines. You see, even if they're not going to make a video game arcade public space, let's put some arcade machines right here. Get one right here. They can put like 3 or 4. Maybe with the 4 different games that you could play games for and earn points, and also get exclusive rewards maybe for each individual arcade game that you complete and get challenges. Rosa. There it is. It's something that they can probably just include in this space, if anything. Because look, it seems like something goes here, and you'll probably be a new player. Like this guy that's coming in here loading, you wouldn't know that these pinball machines were here. You just think it's just an empty space. Something belongs here. Something belongs here. Something needs to go here. These were the pinball machines' missing spots. It was 2 of them. But now they could probably do something with this area for like an arcade setup. Now my last goal, it's a lot of new players here. My last goal with these guys, I would rather see maybe some crossover content for some of the games. They would have to get the licenses of it though. I know that's going to be a really difficult thing to do, as it is we're trying to get third-party companies to join the game and support and create content for it. I would like to see some crossover content for some of these games that we know and love and play from the past, and some of these games that we already are getting to for these new games, because it could promote their new game as well while it's being played. So remember, we had like Killzone on PlayStation Home. We had Bomberman, Star Wars from the Star Wars Cantina public space. We had all those different spaces that we could go into at the time. we had all those different crossover content that we could just get into. I'm gonna run over here. We had all the different spaces and stuff that we could get into for just crossover games. So that's something else I would like to see. But that's gonna really be my wish list for the game, for just for things I like to see in the game so far. But I don't even want to mention too much of anything that they're trying to do for their new set of goals before. I just thought I'd come out with this before they were even try to post their video. So I have my own list and see if I can match it up and compare it to what they're going to bring out for this year. Because it seems like it's going to be the same thing, but maybe with some new things included, possibly, for the game. Because most of these goals haven't really been accomplished for this past year with clubs and all that. So I didn't really make mention of those because that's already still going to be something that was already in their list. But just some things that they just didn't, some things that they didn't really mention. I just wanted to come up with my own little list and wish list. So if you guys have a wish list of your own, or maybe certain things you're looking for the game, you can let me know in the comments if you want. It depends. If not, that's fine too. But I'm just gonna wait and see what they come out with for their video and what their goals will be. What's going to be their main focus for this year, and something that they're trying to come out with. Because players like these, they're just going to come on here and play and go to the same spaces. They're just playing the game and going. They're just looking the same. It's the same thing over and over when you come on here. And I want to open this list. See how she's running in place? So there's a couple of, there's more players in here than there was in the Nexus. But every server is different, but most of these servers in these spaces are dead. But I'm hoping that they can really do better with the communication and just bring out more things that they can possibly do to make the game a little bit better. Because right now, it's just not a game that I really come on here to really play actively now. And then the updates that they came out with are just not streamable. You can just easily talk about it in minutes and then just be off the game right away. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do to better the game and try to keep people active. But personal spaces and all that, and it's enclosed, we got enough of that already.